The Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, October 26th is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 5:09 p.m. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Simon. She's away from her desk at the moment. I know she's here. Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney. Absent at the moment, Mr. Chuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schran.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Council President, I would like the record to reflect that Councilmember Simon is in attendance.
All right, thank you. At this time, let's just have a silent moment of meditation for personal reflection. Thank you. Andrea, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, we did receive public comment. The first public comment is Lou.
Good evening, everybody. Today we have a nicer weather. It's a typical fall weather. And yes, baseball season is off, but the basketball season is on. And of course, lots of people also look forward for the football season. That's wonderful. But still, for us to think about the county's future, how we want to invest our dollars, this is also a critical moment. I have been here telling you, as a homeless individual, I really feel that Rocket Mortgage Field House, I really went in there, I felt it was like a home, like our homeless shelter. The renovation was so great, and you guys all have received the documents back in 2019 and also last time when we met here. So I still have a concern. If we want to use public dollars to renovate the facility for baseball team, and we really wish the whole county can enjoy it, as Ms. Baker promoting a better deal for families to enjoy for part of our American dream, then yes, please, we should not let them duplicate the same silly, stupid, and dysfunctional result. Doesn't matter, it's the food court, the restrooms, the walkways, the parking walkways, facility, everything. It's not just because we have a green field in the middle on the diamond and we are all set. No, that's not the case. People with disabilities, senior citizens, children, and low-income people, everybody pay tax money to go into this renovation, and everybody should have a piece of it. On the other hand, for our county budget, please, homeless shelters, all these buildings should be demolished and to rebuild. Before I came here, lots of bathrooms all got backed up. Not because they were clogged, it was because low water pressure. Please understand, the building originally was made as office building, not residential. So everything fundamentally cannot support the usage, the current usage. And this is the reason why lots of disastrous situation happens. Do we want that to happen in our new baseball field? No, we don't. So please, help. Thank you.
The Honorable Matt Burke, Mayor of Garfield Heights.
Hello, everybody. I'm Matt Burke. I'm the mayor of Garfield Heights, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come up and address County Council before the meeting or during the meeting tonight. I want to talk about the progressive field renovation plans. Now, you might be wondering why a suburban mayor like myself would even care about the renovations of the ballpark. But I got to be honest, you know, there's some residents that live in Garfield Heights and residents all over the county that are employees of the ball club. They also, some of their vendors are involved with them, and for the most part, they're fans. And our resident incomes are tied to this ball club and in other ways, including the businesses and the charities. I can tell you that the Cleveland Indians, or the Cleveland Guardians, as they're going to be called, I can tell you that they have been very charitable to the Little League Baseball in Garfield Heights and so on and so forth. So they're very much a need. And that progressive field is, and also the Cavs, the Rocket Mortgage Field, these are all public buildings. These are all assets, and they're all assets that the taxpayers own. And I will tell you, this county has come a long way since 1990. And there was a lot of people that fought to keep the baseball team here. They fought to bring the Cavs back from Richfield to downtown Cleveland. I just want to make sure that it's understood, at least on my behalf and some of the people in my community, that this ballpark be maintained in good condition, prime condition, because I don't think we would want to see them ever leave the city of Cleveland or our county. I think it'd be very irresponsible if we don't take the time to make sure that it's renovated and it's up and running. And this way, we can continue the tax revenues we see from it, and we can continue to see all the jobs that are created by the ball club and what happens down here in downtown Cleveland having these major league teams. And again, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come up and speak. Thank you.
Nick Costas.
Hello. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak and to address you. You're smiling at me, Martin.
All right.
My name is Nick Costas. I am the proprietor of what you may have initially at one time known solely as Hilarities in the Warehouse District, where we pioneered first with the Little Bar and Grill and subsequently with the second largest comedy venue in the country. Following that, we took our imagination to East 4th Street, where we were the first to open. And after some time of trying to reestablish ourselves there, we ended up, prior to the pandemic, drawing about 120,000 people a year. I guess if you look around Cleveland, at Cleveland neighborhoods, the successful districts are anchored by some type of performance venue. I would only mention in Cordon Square area, Happy Dog. They draw about 75,000 people a year. Comparable numbers for Beachland Ballroom in the Waterloo Arts District. The Grog Shop in Coventry, May Halls and the Winchester in Birdtown, the Music Box Supper Club at Nautica in the Flats. And then on East 4th Street, you have our own 120,000 plus what House of Blues brings. House of Blues brings approximately, prior to the pandemic, about 350,000 ticket holders, ticket buyers. Now, there's a study that's often quoted by the National Institute, National Independent Venues Association. It's out of Chicago. The study showed that for every dollar spent on a ticket, An extra $12 in economic activity is generated at businesses surrounding the event venues. Not speaking to, for the moment, what one might spend in the event venue. I guess restaurants, and to a lesser degree, retail, rely on regular, predictable traffic that these venues do generate. We are an event-driven city. Events like those that we experience with our sports and arts communities. What happened? Did I win something? Jeez, I hope so. I want to go away a winner. Let me just move to the point here.
The first.
We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before. Our community is prideful and boasts of its cultural, art, and industrial legacy, and the contributions they've made not only to our community but to the world. Without the vision of those who valued, invested, and contributed to the great cultural, arts, and educational institutions, how might we define ourselves today? The worth of our community is like that of any other state or community. In the long run, is the quality of the individuals composing it. It is measured by the care and stewardship it gives to its institutions and investments in their community. That is what it leaves to others who come after. Finally, it reveals their belief in themselves and their belief in their future. This is a culture value proposition, in my view. There's something primordial about our brethren, our counterparts throughout this community, East Side, West Side, South Side, where, if you pardon, it's not a pun, the tribe collects, the clan gathers. And we see one another, our humanity, and we're unified for a short while towards some positive outcome. So the collective psyche is that we're all together. That's rare, today's world especially, to find an opportunity where so many thousands can gather in one place at one time and experience something that is in common. And it's not just adults. It's not a dance club. This is families, children who are not only invested in that experience, but are impacted by its effect. There's a popular saying, it's one that I'm very fond of, and it goes like this, and I will tell you who said it in a second if I wasn't so shaken here. It's not what we say or what we do that will be long remembered. It's how we make people feel. I'm a kid from Brooklyn, New York. I was there growing up when the Dodgers were Brooklyn's team, the Bums. Jackie Robinson used to come to my little elementary school and give out our sports pins. My view, my understanding of a man was epitomized in Jackie Robinson's presence. Not his color, but his demeanor. It was how he made us feel. His humanity was apparent. I'll close with just a couple things. Our collective pride and identity for an aspirational sport and city is elevated by our collective, I think, our collective consciousness when we experience events like this in common, together. Separated by very little, not even geography. That it goes away. And it's an economic multiplier. The businesses around that venue all benefit. So this is our community investment, which, like any other investment, requires stewardship and care so that it will be there for the Cleveland and the future that I believe in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're
okay.
gonna ask you to close.
All right. You know what? I can start, I'll start crying here in a minute.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Because our time has expired.
It's just more than about business.
It certainly is.
It's about who we are and our sense of belonging in this world. And okay, I'm going to go.
Thank you.
I
for
guess I'm
being here.
finished.
We thank you, sir.
Folks, that's it.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for listening.
Keith Siebenaler. Keith Siebenaler.
Sorry. Nice job, Nick. That was great. Okay, President, Council, thanks for having me here today and for allowing me a few minutes. My name's Keith Siebenaler. I'm the general manager of the Schofield right behind us over here. I'm speaking, I'll try and keep it brief, I'm not going to go over the time, to the amendment being considered for the progressive field updates. I know I might not look it, but I have been in the industry over 20 years. I do get that. I know how important location is, much like the gentleman before me have talked about. It's important for attracting visitors. It's important for attracting and keeping employees, which is so critical for the hotel and restaurant industry right now, as you all know. But never has it been more evident than the past 2 years, obviously. We went from an in-demand neighborhood with all of the shopping, restaurants, hotels fully packed. We're running 80% occupancy over there. We plummeted down to the 30s in 2020. And we're coming back. We're all coming back, frankly. Everybody is. But every part of the neighborhood, to Nick's point, is critical. Everybody's critical in making this happen for us. So that includes the sporting events at Progressive Field, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, et cetera, which is why I'm here. I want to let you know the business we get is just so critical to that space. Our restaurant, which we spent money in during the COVID downturn, it's all coming back, but just us getting in front of these type of opportunities is just going to keep it going. We show up so well with these events too as a city, as you guys know. Whether it's the draft or MLB All-Star in 2019, we'd love to be positioned for another event like that. We're excited about the NBA All-Star Game, obviously coming up in February. But it isn't just the dollars coming in to the hotels, restaurants, retail outlets. It's about the paychecks going into the pockets of our staff over there and throughout the neighborhood and the city. Which, for my staff, I did look, it's 99% Cuyahoga County employees over there. So they do pay the taxes, they shop at the businesses, et cetera. But keeping the Major League Baseball in Cleveland is paramount. It's totally huge. There's such a lifeline to us all. It's much more than baseball. It's about the entire region's economy. So I just kindly ask that you please support the plan to upgrade the park. So thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Will Tarter Jr.
Good afternoon, Council President, to the County Executive, Vice President Stevens, members of Council. Will Tarter, resident of Broadview Heights in District 6, and speaking tonight as an individual and not representative of my employer. I don't have any copy of written remarks tonight, just came to speak from the heart. First I wanted to say thank you to the Council and to the administration for taking my questions during the Committee on the Whole process. I appreciated the responses from the administration and the diligence of Council asking the questions that you guys asked during the Committee on the Whole meeting regarding the progressive field legislation. I came, I guess, to reiterate that I recognize the importance of the team. I recognize the importance of downtown development. I do not speak to the impact of the ballpark on downtown development, and I want to just separate that from the actual terms of the deal itself. And as a taxpayer, these are our dollars. These are our tax dollars. And so I believe that asking the questions that I've been asking is prudent to making sure in the short term and the long term that we try and alleviate any questions or concerns that we have. So again, I want to thank you for the communications and the follow-up. I appreciate that. I also hope that by doing our due diligence that we can avoid issues down the road. One of the questions that I had and continue to have is about precedent. The major capital repairs over $500,000 is something the taxpayer has been responsible for. With this deal, it now is including minor capital repairs under $500,000. So what type of precedent does that set for future conversations? So these are the types of questions and concerns that I've been trying to ask, and I appreciate the opportunity to ask them during this process. It's my hope that as taxpayers, we can continue to pay very close attention to this, and as elected officials, I know that you will. Because at the end of the day, these are our tax dollars, and that's something that I hope throughout this process that we can try and educate ourselves, in turn can educate others on the short-term and long-term impacts of this legislation. So thank you, Mr. President, and to members of council for the opportunity to share those thoughts with you. I look forward to keeping in contact in the future. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Andy Udris.
Years ago, I was the Economic Development Director of the City of Cleveland for George Voinovich. At that time, we came up with the idea of working with the Chamber of Commerce. I was unfortunately the person responsible for clearing the land and relocating businesses and trying to get them to move elsewhere in the City of Cleveland so that we could build Gateway and the project. I'm proud to say that I think today this is a better project than we had ever envisioned. Even though there were some businesses that had to move and relocate, I can tell you that this has done more economic development and kept the city moving forward than any other project I know of. I currently am the president and managing member of Hofbrauhaus Cleveland. I kind of did this as a hedge against my PERS retirement fund because I wasn't sure we'd all have any money. But I can tell you that at Playhouse Square, for example, yes, we're not directly benefiting from the baseball stadium the way East 4th Street and some of the other districts in the neighborhood. But I can tell you not having these kinds of draws makes a major economic difference in the quality of life that you have here in the city of Cleveland. Without Major League Baseball, without Major League Football, without the theaters that we have, without the music industry, the orchestra, and the other kinds of things that make Cleveland unique, the Cleveland Indians/Guardians, this town would not be the same without this facility being renovated. And if you're worried about your return on investment, or if the public's concerned about their tax dollars, I can guarantee you if you hire the best accounting firm or any accounting firm, they could easily quickly come up with the fact that our industry alone, in the restaurant and hospitality industry, we estimate about 50,000 people that come to our restaurant each year that are affiliated with sports teams. And of that, I would estimate 25,000 are attributable to the Indians. Okay, those people pay tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. My business right now is between 5 and 6 million, pre-COVID, let's say 5 to 6 million in sales. And with that, you receive the 7% taxes plus also the extra taxes for the stadiums and such. I can tell you from an economic development standpoint, it's a tremendous return on investment. And if you don't go forward with this project, you would be sorrowfully missing a huge economic development opportunity to continue building more and more projects and helping the neighborhoods. Thank you.
Dave Wondolowski.
Good evening, Council. I can appreciate the speaker a couple. How old are you? In your 40s, right? Yeah, you keep coming to meetings, you're going to look like me. Okay. Meetings like this. Thanks for having me tonight. I just want to let you know that, and on behalf of the Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council, we fully support the project. We're competing with other stadiums around the country. We have to be able to continue to be a draw, not only for the Guardians baseball team, but also for concerts and other venue events. like that. So we have a great asset here in the county, and we have to maintain it. It's owned by us, and we have to maintain that facility, just like we did with Rocket Mortgage Arena. And look at how beautiful that's come out. This weekend's the Rock Hall ceremony. We're going to have, in concert, we're going to have thousands of people come here from around the country, and Cleveland's going to be spotlighted again on Saturday night, as we continue to be. So, you know, we will have hundreds of jobs in the next phase of the renovation, and we are going to we continue to renovate that stadium daily to make sure water pressure is where it needs to be, and the sinks and the latrines are flowing, and to keep that a first-class facility. But it is in need of the renovations, and I do, on behalf of 20,000 people, I do appreciate your support for the project. Thank you.
Lastly, we did receive a written testimony in support of Progressive Field from Karen Paganini of K&D, excuse me, of K&D Corporation. That concludes the public comment for today's meetings.
Thank you, Andrea. Can I have a motion to approve our minutes, items A through G?
So move, Brown.
Second, Schron.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Our minutes are approved. At this time, we'll have messages from our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. Two exciting events occurred last week, both signaling a bright future for Cuyahoga County. First was the announcement of a new innovation hub here in the county with Nottingham Burke and EY teaming up in a novel partnership. As some of you know, Nottingham Burke is one of the most innovative firms in the country, with more patents leading to inventions than Thomas Edison. With EY now as a partner, together they'll be able to leverage national and international markets. I expect the results will be huge. And second, last week I attended a groundbreaking for the new Sherwin-Williams Research and Development Facility in Brecksville. To show the significance, in attendance was the CEO, John Maurikas, Governor DeWine, Senator Portman, Senator Brown by video, State Senator Dolan, State Rep Robinson, Mayor Ruby, and little old me. They all talked about how the facility will bring innovators and entrepreneurs from all over the world. These two developments should help build Cuyahoga's reputation as a hub for innovation, and that foreshadows a bright future for the region. Thank you.
At this time, legislation introduced by council. Consideration of resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2021-0239, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second, Brown.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2021-0240, amending the 2020-2021 biennial operating budget for 2021 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers, and amending resolution number R 2021-0192 dated August 23rd, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. The answers to our questions to OBM are on your desk. Most of the items are routine, dominated by reductions in appropriation to close out reclaim grants. Unused funds may be carried forward to a current year program. Two other items are notable. A total of $7 million is appropriated for the Sherwin-Williams project, as approved by council, with $5 million coming from the Economic Development Fund and $2 million from the Casino Revenue Fund. Also, $1 million is appropriated to implement an ODNR grant for improvement of the Beulah Park Euclid Beach access point in Euclid. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Mr. President, for the record, I would like the record to reflect that Councilmember Sweeney is in attendance. Resolution 2021-0241, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and Communication Workers of America, Local 4340, Clerk of Courts Bargaining Unit, representing approximately 66 employees in the Clerk Legal Account Clerk 1, 2, and 3, and Legal Clerk 3 classifications in the Clerk of Courts for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second, Schron.
Been properly moved and seconded. This item was previously discussed in executive session. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2021-0242, confirming the county executive's appointment of the Honorable Mayor Annette Blackwell to serve on the Cuyahoga County Citizens Advisory Council on Equity and for an expired term ending July 14th, 2022.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources, Appointments, and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2021-0243, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the replacement of West 130th Street Bridge number 02.26 over the East Branch of the Rocky River in the cities of North Royalton and Strongsville. Estimated total project cost, $3,750,000.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0244, authorizing an amendment to contract number 610 with C&S Engineers, Inc. for general engineering services for the Cuyahoga County Airport for the period February 10th, 2020 through February 13th, 2025, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000.
This item will also be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2021-0245, authorizing an award on Requisition 6464 to MB Companies in the amount not to exceed $545,550 for the purchase of snow removal equipment for the county airport.
Again, referred to Public Works.
Resolution 2021-0246, authorizing contract number 1904 with Fund for Our Economic Future of Northeast Ohio as fiscal agent in the amount not to exceed $1,450,000 to support workforce innovation and coordination in healthcare, manufacturing, information, technology, and hospitality sectors in connection with the Workforce Connect Development Program for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2021-0247, authorizing an amendment to contract number 1631 with Applewood Centers, Inc. for multisystemic therapy problem sexual behavior services for adjudicated youth for the period July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2021, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $600,000.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2021-0218, amending the 2020-2021 biennial operating budget for 2021 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
This item will move to the November 9th, 2021 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0219, authorizing the issuance and sale of one or more series of county sales tax revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $202,500,000 for the purpose of paying or reimbursing the costs of reconstructing, refurbishing, renovating, upgrading, improving, and equipping Progressive Field, together with appurtenances and work incidental thereto.
This item will move to the November 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second, Brown.
Seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the rules are suspended.
Resolution 2021-0231, confirming the county executive's appointment of Cheryl Braddis to serve on the Cuyahoga County Advisory Board on Senior and Adult Services for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2021.
Move to adopt. Thank you, Councilwoman Conwell. This was heard in the Human Resource Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. Maridel Couture stood in the gap for Ms. Cheryl Braddis in serving as her stead to request her appointment to this committee. The term will end at the end of the year, and we hope that at that time, Ms. Braddis can come and present on her own behalf. But in the meantime, I would respectfully request my colleagues' support to move forward with the resolution as requested.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0232, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Sam Thomas III to serve on the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging Board of Trustees for the term January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt. Thank you, Councilwoman Conwell. This was also heard in the Human Resource Appointment and Equity Committee meeting. Mr. Thomas came forth and expressed his desire to continue to serve in this capacity, and so I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0233, authorizing the appropriation of real property for replacement of Old Rockside Road, Bridge number 00.42, over the Cuyahoga River in the City of Independence and Village of Valley View.
Motion to adopt. Mr. President, Ms. Nicole English came before Public Works Committee on October 20th, 2021 to review this legislation. The background here is that Ohio law requires the county to file appropriate actions with the county's probate court when an agreement cannot be reached between the parties. There were 12 parcel owners that have settled with the county. 3 are still outstanding, and the road and bridge funds will be used to pay for the property owners for the temporary easements. The county must proceed with the appropriation action before ODOT will allow bids for the actual work to be issued. And the Public Works Department indicated the timing is quick. It's a high traffic area, and they're looking to issue bids for the project by the end of 2021. So I'd ask my colleagues to move forward with this legislation on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0234, authorizing an amendment to Agreement Number 968 with State of Ohio Department of Administrative Services, Office of Information Technology for software licenses and maintenance on an IBM LPAR mainframe for the period March 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2020, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $700,000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves a routine extension of a contract with the state of Ohio through August 31st, 2022 for $700,000 for software licenses and maintenance of an IBM LPAR mainframe. I recommend passage on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0235, making awards on Requisition 4810 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $1,720,659.34 for trauma-informed respite and youth care center services for the period September 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023 for the providers listed A through C on the agenda.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was presented in committee by the juvenile court. It's a program to keep the children that are involved in traumatic situations, be it in the house or in the neighborhood or wherever they are found, and to keep them out of jail, and be able to give them the necessary medical and psychological follow-up that they would need regarding the trauma that they either witnessed or were partaking in. The recommendation of the committee was to adopt.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0236, making an award on Requisition 6987 to Schwartz Uniform Corporation in the amount not to exceed $875,000 for furnishing uniforms for Cuyahoga County Correction Officers. It's for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, also heard in committee, in our last committee, these are the uniforms for our department. CO's recommendation was adoption.
Excellent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2021-0237, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various municipalities and providers for various services for the Community Social Services Program for the period January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2021, to remove Elder Care Services Institute, LLC, effective November 9th, 2021, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $600,000 for the providers and municipalities A through Z as listed on the agenda.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I ask my colleagues to pass this needed legislation forward for the continuation of needed services for the seniors that are either homebound or visit senior centers. Recommendation of the committee was to adopt.
Mr. President, I would like to ask that my name be added, please.
Add Councilman Miller's name. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2021-0220, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute and submit a loan application in the amount of $3,359,000 to State of Ohio, Ohio Public Works Commission to finance a portion of various Pleasant Valley Road Bridge projects as listed on the agenda, items A through C.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Schron.
Mr. President, Ms. English came before the Public Works Committee on October 6, 2021. This is dealing with the Pleasant Valley Road in Independence and Valley View. These are three separate bridges, all on Pleasant Valley Road, over Riverview Road in Independence, Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad in Independence, and Cuyahoga River in Valley View. Total project cost is $31,976,000 for all three bridges. And these funds have already been committed, and they are coming out of the County Road and Bridge Fund, the State of Ohio Public Works Grant, and the federal bridge funds. That's how those are being paid. They're hoping to start construction in 2022 and completion in 2025. These are very old bridges, and it will make the area more pedestrian-friendly when completed. And I would ask my colleagues for support on this legislation moving forward on third reading.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2021-0222, authorizing an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan in the amount not to exceed $1 million to Manufacturing Advocacy and Growth Network for the redevelopment of a vacant building located at 1800 East 63rd Street, City of Cleveland, for the relocation of Magnet Manufacturing Technology and Job Headquarters.
Motion to adopt. Mr. President, the Economic Development Committee met on Tuesday, October 12th. Von Johnson introduced himself as our new Economic Development Deputy Director, and he and Anthony Stella from the Department of Development gave a PowerPoint to discuss this resolution that authorizes an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan to Magnet. Magnet provides consulting services to small to medium-sized manufacturers. In Anthony Stella's presentation, he stated that the primary goal was to redevelop the vacant building formerly known as Margaret Ireland School in Midtown, located across from Dave's Supermarket on 1800 East 63rd Street in Cleveland, into a manufacturing innovation center. Magnet is moving its headquarters from the CSU campus. The new Midtown location will have more visibility and help the anchor innovation district. The new location is approximately 53,000 square feet and will offer an innovation center to help design equipment and products, space to meet future manufacturing needs through digital transformation, and office meeting spaces. Magnet currently has 40 employees, and it is anticipated to create 29 new permanent jobs. The total cost of the project is $15,958,000, which the county will loan up to $1 million with a term of 16 years at an interest rate of 2.5% per annum. If all requirements are met, not more than 25% of the loan principal will be forgiven. This is an exciting project that will help manufacturers grow and add jobs to the economy. It was supported by a unanimous voting committee. I ask my colleagues to approve this legislation.
Mr. President.
Yes, Council President, and I want to thank the Vice Chair of the committee for conducting that meeting. I did not vote at any votes, even though it said unanimous. I was not participating, and I abstained myself from any participation in regards to this process because I sit on Magnet's board, and I will not be voting. I will abstain myself from this vote also. Thank you.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this is a highly significant project to expand the economic development infrastructure in Cuyahoga County, and I support it and would ask that my name be added.
All right, again, let's add Councilman Miller's name.
Please add my name.
Councilwoman Conwell's name. Councilwoman Stevens.
Throw Sweeney on there. Why not?
Councilman Sweeney.
Baker also.
Please add my name too, Mr. President.
Brown, Simon, and add my name as well, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Please let the record reflect I abstained.
One abstention from Councilman Jack Schron.
Resolution 2021-0223, authorizing an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan in the amount not to exceed $1 million to LG Blanket Mill LLC for the redevelopment of a vacant building located at 3160 West 33rd Street in the city of Cleveland for a mixed-use structure for the Northern Ohio Blanket Mills project.
Motion to adopt. Mr. President, the Economic Development Committee again met on Tuesday, October 12th, to hear a second proposal by Anthony Stella from the Department of Development. He gave a PowerPoint presentation to discuss this resolution that authorizes an Economic Development Fund redevelopment and modernization loan to LG Blanket Mill LLC. This building is located at 3160 West 33rd Street in Cleveland. The proposal will be a mixed-use structure for the Northern Ohio Blanket Mills project. This project will convert the vacant industrial building into 60 upper-floor affordable housing units. The first floor will be leased as commercial space to social service agencies, providing child care and health care services. The cost of the project is approximately $33,300,000, which the county will loan up to $1 million with a term of 20 years and an interest rate of 2.5% per annum. If all requirements are met, not more than 25% of the loan principal will be forgiven. This is another exciting project in Cleveland that will convert the long vacant 64,000 square foot industrial building into affordable housing units, and included in that square footage is 31,000 square foot of commercial space leased to child care and healthcare services to those that reside there and the surrounding neighborhood. I ask my colleagues to approve this legislation.
All right, any discussion?
Mr. President. Thank you. I would like my name added to this. This is a great project for housing, wraparound services, and I found it interesting that this actual building used to be a mill to manufacture horse blankets back in the day, which was a prevalent industry when we had horse and carriage. So it's a historical building, and I'm glad to see it's just not going to be wasted away.
Further discussion?
Add my name.
Councilwoman Conwell's name?
M. Stevens.
Stevens, Brown,
Baker.
Baker,
Tuma.
Tula. And you may add my name as well. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2021-0225, authorizing an amendment to Agreement Number 204 with the Metro Health System for comprehensive medical services for families involved with Division of Children and Family Services for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,551,000.
To adopt.
Second, Brown.
Mr. President, recommendations of the committee was to adopt this legislation that allows critical services needed for children that are in the county care.
Discussion. All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Committee reports and consideration of an ordinance for second reading.
Ordinance 2021-0013, amending Chapter 503 of the Cuyahoga County Code, Small Business Enterprise Program, Policies and Procedures, to approve revised Cuyahoga County Small Business Enterprise Program Policies and Procedures effective November 15th, 2021, and adopt Minority Business Enterprise and Women Business Enterprise Program Policies and Procedures effective November 15th, 2021.
All right, this item will move to the November 9th, 2021 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. All right. Well, we're coming near to the end of our agenda, but I think I just want to take this time to acknowledge our colleague, our dear friend, Councilwoman Chantel Brown. This looks like this is going to be possibly our last meeting. And I just want to thank you for your friendship, your leadership here on council. You have been a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion. You spearheaded our racism as a national
Council
health
President,
crisis.
if you could speak into the microphone louder.
You have led in so many ways, just as our chair of human resources, the various appointments, and just that leadership you've provided. But you've been a friend, and I appreciate that. From the first time I met you in 2015, we met in that transition building between the old building and the building of this new, and to see the councilwoman of Warrensville Heights come in and just beginning, not even just beginning your political career, but just watching you grow and blossom and be as the Bible says, the virtuous woman that I've come to know you to be, and many have. I'm just thankful having known you and continue to know you and your friendship, and just wish you the best. I wish you the best. We look forward to all that you're going to continue to be able to do for this community and this county as our congresswoman. I'm going to call it now as our congresswoman of this 11th congressional district. So again, we just thank you, and I want my colleagues to have an opportunity to have their say. And I'm going to start with our council vice president. And then we'll go from one on down. Each person can take a turn.
Thank you, Mr. President. To my colleague, soon to be our Congresswoman, this is a phenomenal opportunity which you have will benefit from. Only 435 people in this whole country of over 30 million get to serve in Congress at any given time. So this is great, and I wish you well. My recommendations to you, since I have walked the halls of Congress to lobby, is, girl, get some good shoes. So I will be texting you locations for shoes that will be easy on your feet but look good on you. Good luck.
Chantel, it's my turn, and, I sincerely want to say it's been a real pleasure to work with you here on County Council. When I first started, and I'm one of the newer kids, not so new anymore, but newer than most, you have always been friendly and professional in your role as my colleague, always approachable if I had questions, and I sincerely wish you the best in your future, and you will definitely be missed. So good luck to you.
So, Chantel, I have greatly enjoyed working with you and congratulate you on a meteoric rise to heights unobtained by the rest of us. You have also left a highly significant mark at Cuyahoga County, particularly through your strong leadership on equity and inclusion and the declaration of systemic racism as a public health emergency. We will be building on the foundation you have laid to help us reach our aspirations for a truly diverse and equitable community. Meanwhile, I call upon you to help save the planet from the climate crisis that we're in. The world clearly requires that the United States of America provide bold and decisive leadership now to get us on the path toward environmental sustainability, and now you will be able to provide that leadership. I wish you well. I thank you for your friendship now, and we'll be watching to see what further heights you have yet to scale. Several months ago, I predicted that whoever wins the District 11 Democratic primary would become the first African American from Ohio to achieve national political leadership. I stand by that prediction and will be watching to see how it unfolds. And so, to send you off, I just want to read one verse from my favorite hymn, Higher Ground. My heart has no desire to stay where doubts arise and fears dismay. Though some may dwell where these abound, my prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's table land, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. God be with you, Godspeed, and blessings for a wonderful future.
Wow, that's going to be hard to follow. I got a haircut for you. Which one? You got her crying, Dale. Soak it up. That's cool. Madam Chairwoman, I got to know you a little bit as a councilwoman, and then our paths crossed again in a different world. I got to know you a little bit more, and then I had the privilege of working with you here. And what I learned...
A safe, different world, Marty.
Huh?
A legal, safe, different world, just for folks that are listening.
Oh, absolutely. In the non public side. What we have right now, though, is when I first met you, wow, this is a very nice young lady. And I've grown to say, you're a bad astronautette. The way you conduct yourself when the pressure's on, you're a strong, independent woman, and we need one of them in Congress, or more than one. You're going to join a great group, and I just appreciate getting to know you, and I'm not going to disappear from you. So thank you for letting me be part of it, and good luck.
Okay, Chantel, I'm glad I got to follow Marty instead of Dale. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Had I known this was your last day, I would have gotten a haircut, but I didn't. Trevor told me like an hour ago. I probably would have wrote a speech too. But I will say this. I mean, you've been a great colleague and a great friend. I too remember just getting to know you, and when you asked me to introduce you to some of the folks in Parma, they said, who's Chantel Brown? And now they all know who Chantel Brown is, and everybody's going to know who Chantel Brown is after you head off to Congress. So I would say this to you, just a little bit of advice. You know, from what I hear, Washington has some unseemly people pulling a lot of people in different directions. I would say this to you. I would just say, stay true to your moral convictions, your political beliefs, and your faith in God. And when somebody says to you, you have some big shoes to fill, you tell them that you're wearing your own shoes. So bring your own shoes, and Cheryl, you can maybe help her get those shoes. But good luck to you. Plenty of health and safety, and this isn't goodbye, but until. So thank you.
Chantel. I get emotional. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. You'll be missed. And I did the dumbest thing when you were thinking about running for this. I said, I've never been to DC, but if you win, I'm going to come. I don't want to go, but now I have to, and I couldn't be happier. And as Dorothy told the Scarecrow, I'll miss you the most.
Well, I don't have a scarecrow line, but I do have, I've enjoyed working with you. Wish you all the best of luck out there, because you've got some big responsibilities, as we all have pointed out, and it's been a joy. One of the things that you will be aware of, obviously, come next Tuesday, is that you represent the entire district out there. And one of the things that, as the 435, we hope you bring some of our money back to this district. Don't leave it in Washington, D.C. They have enough there. Our districts need it, and so work like heck to bring those dollars back for your constituents, for all your friends and neighbors, because there's some big conversations that are taking place about dollars that can be coming back to Northeastern Ohio, and I'd love to follow up with those. And those are, as you know, I'm an R. That's a surprise, I know. But there's some bipartisan things to bring dollars back to Northeastern Ohio, and I'd love for you to be part of that mission. Thank you.
Chantel, it's been a pleasure working with you on a collection of topics involved with seniors, children, or incarcerated people. We've worked on a host of things. Thank you for your service in HHS committee, your service on county council. Good luck in your future endeavors. I don't look at this as a goodbye. I just look at this as a next step to continue to work on you with the issues that we've worked on already. And I'll be calling you, as well as if you need an undercover person to go in something, I gotcha.
Sunny.
Okay,
No.
yeah, Chantel, you know how proud I am. I'm so emotional. It's been a pleasure watching you grow from the minute on the campaign trail to when you started. It's just extraordinary, the maturity and just strength. But I look forward to you being my congresswoman. I'm going to miss you as a colleague and friend. But early on, Chantel demonstrated something that I learned from. It began with a conversation about an ordinance proposed in Shaker Heights about banning pit bulls. And of course, this just, was appalling to me and something that I'm so overly passionate about probably. And Chantel maybe took a neutral position, which at that moment wasn't enough. I'm like, don't you know? And Chantel listened, and sat there composed when I went off on pit bulls. And then later on, she listened and understood, and I think, but it didn't matter what her conclusion was. It was you, Chantel, that listened and said, it was such a lesson to me about, being able just to be there with somebody with a different passion and a position, but that escalated into plastic bags, right? So that was just the beginning of my passion, and Chantel's calm composure when I am so eager to get something done for this planet and for its inhabitants that share this earth. And so we went through a lot of discussions, a lot of committee meetings, and at the end of the day, we were able to come to a place of understanding, and out of that grew a friendship that's going to last. Good luck. Yes, it will. Thank you.
Let's take a moment this time I would like our county executive, Army Builders, to have a few
Great,
words.
thank you, Mr. President. Chantel Brown. So you are a very good councilman, very good councilwoman. You are a great friend, and I truly appreciate that. We will be talking often because I have your cell phone. And we have a lot to do. And you will be a tremendous help for all of us up here. And I'm looking forward to that. You have a very big heart. But I'm going to focus on a different part of your anatomy. We need lots of help. I'm going to be a huge pain in your rear end. Thank you for your help.
I may.
Yes.
So I actually, after talk, it was actually Councilwoman Simon that brought it to my attention that this would likely be my last meeting. And so I did prepare some things so I wouldn't get off track. And in my over 40s, I should probably put on my reader so I can see what I started to try to compose to just capture what I was thinking. And I'm generally not one for a lot of fanfare, but the reality that this could very well be my last council meeting has set in. And if the saying is true, history is the best indicator of future outcomes with 7 days left to cast ballots. I'm just respectfully taking the opportunity to express my sincere gratitude for 7 years of having been able to serve with this amazing body and so many people who I've grown to love, admire, and respect. 7 years ago, I sat in this chamber in the back, seeking to be a member of this body to represent the 9th District. I watched with great anticipation as the first and former Council President C. Ellen Connolly, who this chamber is named after, blessed me with her support. And I think I was her first and only endorsement, so it was a high honor and one that helped catapult me to become her successor. Her exit created an entrance for new leadership with Dan Brady, who took the reins and led this council through some very turbulent times with poise as he balanced the aspirations of the administration with the cares, concerns, and considerations of this council, most often in a nonpartisan fashion. Dan's effective leadership set the foundation for one who has been a true friend and solid supporter since 2014, Purnell. He has carried a legacy of leadership with compassion, character, and great competence, and I am excited about the work he will continue to do in this role. So thank you, Council President Jones. I would be remiss if I did not follow up with one who also shares a deep commitment to matters around equity and inclusion, and I trust will leverage her breadth of experience and expertise in economic and community development to ensure everyone continues to benefit from the allocation of contracts, goods, and services throughout the county. She has been, and I trust will continue to be, a much-needed voice to speak truth to power. Thank you, Vice President Stevens. Next is one who I will always credit with being this council's fiercest fighter when it comes to environmental justice and animal rights. She literally speaks up for those who cannot speak for themselves, like the earth and our pets, and gives a powerful voice to issues that folks like me may have overlooked if it were not for her passion and tenacity. She has stood solidly with me during some of the toughest times on this journey. Thank you, Sunny. Another person who has literally been by my side. She set the stage for my role as HR chair, and her patience, compassion, and genuine concern for all issues dealing with HHS is unmatched. So much so, we went on an undercover mission to personally see how services were being delivered by one of our agencies. It was a time I'll never forget and an experience that exposed her servant's heart. Thank you for being just who you are, Councilwoman Cotwell. Next is one who sits on the opposite side of the aisle, but when it comes to family, entrepreneurship, and loving Cuyahoga County, we are very much in the same boat. Over the years, I have thoroughly enjoyed the occasions where we've had the chance to connect outside of the chambers at Progressive Field, First Energy Stadium, during GCP's Public Officials Reception, and the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission's events. If you don't know, Jack can be a lot of fun, and it has been a pleasure serving with you. Next is a guy who I will forever admire for his courage and strength. During one of the most tumultuous times and turbulent times, he spoke up and spoke out to ensure the administration took the steps to ensure equity and inclusion, that it was not just talked about during the pandemic. Leading one of the busiest committees, he has been dedicated to delivering good government, and I appreciate you so very much for it. Thank you, Scott, with 2 T's, Tuma. Next is one from the very beginning of my time on council, availed himself to offer assistance, any assistance that he could. He is a wealth of knowledge, a great deliberator, shines brightest during our budget hearings, and made me cry first tonight. I also like to refer to him as our honorary parliamentarian, but more than all of those things, he has been a steady supporter, solid ally, and a great friend. Thank you, Dale. Next is one whose appetite for information seems insatiable at times. She is never short or shy about asking hard questions, but always in the most thoughtful way and with such a pleasant disposition. Even when we disagree, she has always treated me with kindness and respect, and it has been my pleasure to serve with you, Councilwoman Baker. Now, this guy shares a similar thirst for information, which he'll blame on being the newest member. But I have a feeling it's just the beginning. He has a personality and heart as big as this room, and it has been quite an addition to this esteemed body. We know him, we love him, we can't live with him and can't live without him. It's been a pleasure serving with you, Councilman Sweeney. And speaking of big hearts, this person has one, but for some reason, he seems to try to hide it, except when it comes to seniors, and apparently me. A true champion for the aging, and he does it so gracefully while serving his queen. I like to describe him as the wizard behind the curtain, Magic Mike Gallagher. It has been a pleasure and privilege serving with you, my friend. And none of this would be possible without our amazing staff. Joe, Trevor, Levine, Jim, Brendan, Khalil, Tiffany, clerks Andrea, Janine, Ashley, you have set an incredibly high bar for Congress. Your attention to detail, organization, flexibility, responsiveness, thoughtfulness are unparalleled. I would be here until next week if I highlighted everything and recounted the many times you have made this work so much more productive, pleasant, and positive to perform for me. And to the administration, particularly Executive Budish, we started this journey of serving the county together. I am grateful for your support and collaboration on issues that have been of great importance to me and my constituents, including but not limited to modernizing our emergency communications to accommodate the Text 911 platform, declaring racism as a public health crisis, and helping those who needed it the most during this pandemic. I want to thank you for your friendship, your service, and support. So to all of my colleagues, staff, and everyone out there, my constituents, and the amazing work that we've all done collectively to make this county shine. As so many have said, this is not goodbye, as we still have 7 days to go. And even if things go as expected in this new position, I think it will allow me the opportunity to work with you all in a different and even greater capacity. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. All right, come on.
God bless you and wish you the best. All right. All right. Any miscellaneous committee reports?
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman Miller.
the Committee of the Whole will meet for budget hearings and one additional resolution on Monday, November 1st, and also on Thursday, November 4th, both at 1 p.m. Finance and Budget will not meet during the next 2 weeks.
Mr. President, Public Works will meet at its regularly scheduled time on the 3rd of November.
Safety at 1 o'clock Tuesday, and I'll be chairing HR in the anticipation of Election Day for 10 o'clock. Thank you.
President, I know the committee of the whole, but the one item is in economic development, which I believe that will be handled by myself during the economic development piece of that committee of the whole.
HHS, there was no legislation and no presentation, so there will not be HHS.
Mr. President, no committee meeting for environment and sustainability, but I will say that ODNR, just to let council know, issued a temporary pilot research permit for the deer sterilization in the city of South Euclid. So thanks for the support. That we're going to see how that goes in December.
All right. And there was one Finance and Budget Committee item that will actually be heard in the Committee of the Whole on November 1st. Again, we will have additional Committee of the Whole meetings on the 4th, the 8th, the 15th, and potentially the 22nd if necessary. All right. Well, that is our meeting for today. If anything else holds our attention, if not, our meeting is adjourned.